Hello everyone, welcome back to another video with me. My name is Cotton Candy Doll. If you're new here, welcome. Welcome all. Hi, this is a shifting video. In my previous video, you guys know that Endeavor was taking care of Frodo. He was doing a kick-ass job at it too. He was like someone else looking in through the window, say it wasn't me, would have definitely thought he was the surrogate father. Well, not the surrogate father, the real father of Frodo, but he was acting as a surrogate at the time. So I'm gonna tell you guys what happened. I'm gonna jump right into the story, my story time. You might hear insanely happy laughter. You might hear other noises and things coming from outside. So I shifted back to Toshinori's house. I said no more spoilers, so I'm gonna stop spoiling it for you guys before I tell you what happened. Also, I want to make sure this is not blurry. I'm sorry if it became blurry, guys. So, how you guys been? Yeah, I know I've been working a lot, so I haven't really been making a whole lot of videos. I'm so sorry for that. I know I was spoiling you guys before. I was just dishing out my videos because I actually had time to do it. Now I'm actually working like doubles, like back to back to back. So I can only get in front of the camera when I can and tell what happened. So also someone mentioned in one of my other videos in the comments they wanted me to go to Hunter x Hunter. I don't know about that yet. I'm gonna wait until after the full moon to take a look there and see what I see before I decide to shift there. I'm trying to be really careful, really cautious since Attack on Titan. So, oh yeah, I did go away from the story. Let me go back. Sorry, guys. I get carried away sometimes when I talk about stuff. I hope you guys can't see that in this. I'm glad that part doesn't show. There's like a little bar up there, and I'm hoping it's not like getting in you guys' way to where you can't see me. Also, it's been a really long day. I've been waiting to say this all day. I was trying to do it before I went to work. I was trying to release this video. Sometimes I try and release my videos earlier, but it just doesn't work out the way that I want. So I have to wait. I have no choice. Oh, bummer. Anyway, so I shifted to Toshinori's house, and I thought it was just gonna be me and Toshinori alone, um, because that was my plan. I get there and the baby's there. And I'm not disappointed to see Frodo. I'm actually really, really happy to see him. So Toshinori is like, the baby's here, and I'm like, I can hear him. I can hear him from outside the door. He was like laughing and stuff. So he lets me in, and of course, the baby is in like this little baby prison. It has his toys and things in it, and he basically like kind of sat him down in there. So if you haven't noticed, if you don't know how old Frodo is, he's about 4 months. He's not really at the age yet where he can walk around and really bother anything. But I guess he's starting to crawl. I don't know. So Toshinori put him inside of there so that way if he happens to turn his head away, I guess he'll be safe. Cautious, a cautious parent move, but okay. Um, I actually want to be able to babysit him too. So when I got over there to where Frodo was, I picked him up and I hugged him, and he's laughing and he's just the happiest baby in the world. Like he went from this unhappy, um, crying, like suffering child to like the most happiest kid I've ever seen. Like, and this is the kid I've been waiting to see this whole time. Frodo up, I hug him and stuff, and I kind of cried a little until Sherry touched my shoulder, and I just looked at his hand like, "Why are you touching me?" I didn't say that, but I wanted to so bad. Also, I feel like I've been very lucky because for some reason, like, I know Toshinori did not forget about all the stuff I did to him. I know he hasn't forgotten about it. So I know that there's a chance that I'm probably gonna get it. And like, I have a feeling like he's whatever he does is gonna be something insane because I tased him in his ball sack. I poisoned him twice. Remember, guys, I poisoned him the day that I tasered him by accident. I put that stuff in his coffee. Anyway, this is all stuff brought on by me, but at the same time, I don't really feel like I feel like I still haven't really gotten him back enough for that. Like, and the baby's here, so it brings a great opportunity for me. Sort of. Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys what I did. So I told Toshinori, I said, just kick back. I'm going to look after Frodo while I'm here. And he said, are you sure you want to do that? And I go, yeah, of course I do. It's my baby. He's my son. And I like put him down and um, inside of the little, oh, what was it? It wasn't a swing. It's like a jumpy thing that the kids can bounce up and down in. And so Frodo's little legs, they're so freaking adorable. He's like bouncing up and down and he's in a diaper. So then I look at Cussionary and I go, diaper looks kind of weird. It's like bushy. It's like in the front of it looks like it's kind of mashed, but the back of it has like green. It's just all green. And Toshinori runs over and he's like, shoot. And he has these they remind me of like the hospital the oxygen mask. He puts one over my face and puts one over his. He goes, he went to the potty. And I'm like, okay, so he went poop or whatever. And he's like, yeah. And then he looks at me. I'm like, what? I'm like, that's what it is. It's a normal thing. Like babies pee and poop. Get used to it. Like you shouldn't feel like. Anyway, whatever. You're an adult. I'm an adult. And you shouldn't. I don't know how he wants to address this. I guess because of the school he's going to be going to in the future. Like if Frodo goes to school, I'm thinking of homeschooling him because I do not want my child to bite somebody by accident or especially with his teeth the way they are. I already talked about my concerns and stuff in the other video. And I was gonna talk to Toshinori about that. Like if he has to go back to the hospital again or something. Anyway, we managed to get him changed. Oh my gosh, guys. My baby is so precious. He's like the precious thing in the planet. I love my baby so much. He's laughing the whole time I'm changing him and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, he takes after his dad. In size. It's definitely Hawks' child. It's his kid. It was my kid too, but anyway, put on a new diaper, everything, and but before I put it on, I see that like his organs they like go away. It's weird because it's like they almost fade away, kind of. I don't know how to say. I thought for sure I was gonna see them like going back in him, like some kind of way, but because of how they described it to me, they said it was a hole, and then they said anyway, it seemed like a normal baby besides that. Okay. So we changed him and everything, odorless completely. And Toshinori told me the one thing I have to be careful with when changing him is making sure that I get all of it, all of the waste. Because if you leave even a little bit, it can knock you unconscious or whatever. Which, of course, my child has this quirk that's like this. I'm sorry, guys, for moving. My camera's probably readjusting. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm back. I didn't go anywhere. Anyway, so I put the baby back in a little this little jumpy thing. It's like jumping and playing in there. And so then I'm like, this show is not really it was like news or something. It was talking about villains and I saw there was a picture on the TV of like a villain. And I didn't recognize who the villain was because I've never seen him in My Hero Academia. So they were talking about him and this, that, and the third. And Frodo's in his onesie and he has his little hat on and his little blonde hair is sticking out of the hat and stuff. So I'm just like, I was like, did you do his hair? He goes, don't mess with his hair. It's okay. I'm like, okay. So I didn't like take the hat off or anything. And he's bouncing up and down and and laughing. And I'm just like, okay, well, um, can I turn? Can we turn to something more appropriate? So then Toshinori's like, give me the remote. So he turns to this animal. Um, he turns to this animal channel. I was planning on doing this with no matter what he did. I was just wanted to just bother him and get under his skin because I don't feel like I got enough of Toshinori back. I kind of did because I tasted him, but I should bother him a little bit more. So they're singing the wheels on the bus go around and round, round and round. And I'm singing it, and then the old McDonald had a farm. So I go, Baby Frodo, yeah, hi. I got all the animals on the farm. I go, yeah. The sheep goes bad, the cow goes moo. The cow goes moo. I don't like the cow is full of milk. It's so full of milk. It's so full. It wants to be milked. Yes, it does. What sound does a cow make? Moo, moo, moo. I go, moo, moo. And the baby starts laughing. He's jumping up and down and kind of bouncing up and down and I look back at Toshinori, and Toshinori is kind of like, I can tell he's getting a little bit uncomfortable because of what I'm saying and how I'm saying it. And I'm purposely doing this on purpose to bother him. Like I'm making like all of these, moan sounds like the like that and stuff. Like, yeah, a cow, and stuff. It has milk. And so Toshinori is like, okay, I know what you're doing. I'm like, I'm not doing anything. I'm playing with Frodo. And I have like the straightest face. I'm not laughing. I'm not smiling. I'm not doing anything. I'm literally laughing on like the inside, like ha. So then I did this for like 12 minutes or something. He's like, yeah, we're gonna go to a different song now. So Toshinori kind of has his legs crossed, his arms kind of like over his lap. And I go, Toshinori, why are you sitting that way? You're sitting weird. And he goes, I'm not sitting weird. It's fine. He goes, Hawks is gonna come and pick him up soon. So you get to be here with me. We finally get to be alone together. And a part of me wanted so bad to just be like, oh, yes, I get to be my man. I get to be with him. I'm so happy. Like, I'm so excited, guys. I'm so happy. I'm so excited I get to be with Toshinori. Like, we can do it now. I can make love with him. I get to be with him. But when I wanted to spend time with you, when I wanted to make love with you, you wouldn't give yourself to me. You gave me to him. And now I'm acting like I'm okay with everything. You guys don't know that because I never I never said I wasn't okay with it after I poisoned them. So they still think I'm down with everything they're saying and like that they're to get to share me between them. Still haven't gotten over the whole triangle factor. And it's a little harder now that Frodo's been dumped into it because it's like he is my number one priority now though. So I tell Toshinori, I go, look, it's great that you thought about me, but if you were really thinking about me, you would have made sure the baby wasn't here when I got here. But he's here. So I'm going with him because I want to spend more time with my son. I never get to see him. And Toshinori's like, oh, he goes, I didn't think about that. And I go, of course you didn't. And he's like, well, and he's still sitting with his hands and his legs crossed and his hands over his lap. And I know he's trying to hide his massive boner. And I'm like secretly like smirking. I go, let's go, Frodo. I pick Frodo up and I'm holding him. And so then the doorbell rings. I open it. Hawks opens the door and he's dressed up completely. He's got on this yellow button up shirt, some khakis, some khaki shorts, and some sandals. And he's like, oh, Cotton Candy Doll, you came early? And I go, yeah, I wanted to see Frodo. He goes, oh, well, Frodo is leaving. I go, no, I'm keeping Frodo. And he glances over me and he looks at Toshinori. And he's like, give me the baby. I'm like, no, I'm holding Frodo right now. I want to spend time with Frodo. And Hawks looks at Toshinori and he's like, I think Toshinori wants you to stay here with him. I'm going to take Frodo and then you're going to stay here. So I stepped out of I stepped over like the threshold, like the, whatever it's called, I don't know what it's called. And I'm holding Frodo and Frodo has his fingers like kind of like playing in my hair a little bit. And I go, Hawks, you can't take him from me because I'm gonna spend time with him today. We're gonna be together, right, Frodo? And I like hug him and like, so Frodo like he puts his big mouth, like his mouth kind of on me a little bit, and I'm a little bit nervous because I don't know if I'm gonna get like bit in the face. He has those huge teeth in his mouth and they're sharp and everything. So I'm just like, okay, well, he does that, and I'm like, see, he loves me. And so then Hawks is like, Frodo, it's time to go. And he picks Frodo up and he tries to lift Frodo from me, but Frodo's like clinging on to me for dear life. He's like pulling on my shirt. And I'm like, oh, he's pulling my hair. Stop, 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 stop. So then he's like, okay. And I'm like, I'm going with you guys. And he's like, okay, well, I guess you're coming with us. I'm like, yeah, that's what I said. So Frodo's laughing, and and I swear, guys, this is the most happiest baby I've ever. Like, I've never seen Frodo laugh and be happy. He's usually asleep. When he wakes up, he's screaming. Um, his scream kind of left him. He doesn't really scream like that anymore when he cries. So that part was like fixed, I guess, after they like cured him or whatever. And then when they cured Hawks, I don't know what they did. He was like a different person almost. He looked different. I mean, his hair was kind of like combed back a little bit. It grew a little too. Like his hair got kind of longer. Yeah, he was kind of attractive, like the way he looked. But I'm just like, I glanced at Twitchinary. I'm like, I might be back. Might meaning I'm not coming back there. I'm just gonna leave him hanging. Sorry, like you left me hanging plenty of times, and I know you're gonna punish me for all the stuff I did. I'm not an idiot. After everything I did, taste you in the ball sacks and everything, come on, poisoned you, gave you diarrhea and boner, like, come on, I gave you Viagra and diarrhea medicine. So yeah, you're definitely gonna getting back at me. You're scheming, or you have schemed and came up with something. So we get to Hawks' house. He opens the door. He's like, "Go on inside." I go in. I'm like, "Oh, you made some changes. Everything's baby proofed, all the way down to like the sockets, all the way down to the doors, the edges of the doors. So that any of the edges in the house, they have like rubber stops or something at the bottom. So he basically made them rounded. That way, when Frodo starts crawling, I guess, or walking, he can't hit his head against. Like this guy went really far. Like the baby proof for me would have just been the sockets. Off chance, freak accident, baby hits their head on the side of something. Okay, well he's not gonna die from it. Also, he's a regenerator. Regenerate that part. A little scratch is probably minor. Like I don't think anyone understands. Frodo is gonna be if Frodo becomes a hero, he's gonna be like feared. Okay, my baby is gonna be feared. But if he becomes a villain, oh god, oh god, the world has to watch out. Like, God forbid that never ever happens. Like, the world's over. It's over. Um, they just out of heroes. Right now, this quirk is coming out through his waist. He doesn't know how to use it yet. And when he actually starts learning how to use it, when he gets older and he's potty trained and all that, and his waste no longer comes out that way, like toxic, he'll be able to release the toxins from his body and use it that way. That's going to be a pretty cool quirk to have. And the fact that he can regenerate any part of him that gets ruined or hurt or anything like that. And he might also have my quirk too, or Hawks. He might be able to fly. Um, we don't know yet because he's too little right now for the doctors to diagnose him as having that kind of quirk. They just know what he already has. So I know it's a lot that goes into Frodo. Like it's a lot that goes into my name. He's so special. Like he's so precious. So oh yeah, I know I just went on a rant about my baby. I'm sorry guys. But so we go in and I'm like, I'm looking around and he goes, um, so what were you guys watching? I go, told McDonald had a farm, basically learning like farm animal stuff and ABCs and all that. So I'm holding Frodo on my lap and I have him, I'm kind of bouncing him on my lap a little bit, like holding him and bouncing him. And of course he like upchucks on, because it's bouncing up and down. I didn't think about that. So I go, oh no, oh no, and I'm like turning my head like, oh my god, oh my god. Like I'm thinking I'm gonna pass out any second because whatever. And Toshinori goes, it's okay. It doesn't come out. It only comes out through the other end. If he spits up or anything like that, you'll be fine. So he's like wiping it. So Hawks is like wiping it off me, and his hand goes like in between like where my cleavage is, kind of, and he runs his thumb across my nipple, and I'm like, but I'm holding Frodo too at the same time. So he does that. I'm holding Frodo. So I can't really move my hand the way it is. It's kind of like stuck on my baby. I'm not gonna drop my kid, okay? Just because he's touching me. So then I kind of pick him up and I do this, to like avert Hawks's arm from reaching at me, and he moves his hand. And he goes, "Hmm." He makes like a dissatisfactory kind of noise, and he's like, "I didn't get a kiss," and I'm like, "Oh," I'm like, "Yeah." I remember, guys, I'm pretending that I'm okay with this still because I have to pretend I'm okay with the triangle. So I'm just like, so he kind of kisses my face, but I'm purposely late kissing him. I go like the last second. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize. He goes, yeah. He kind of frowns a little bit, and then he's like, okay, well, um, so I'm going to go in the other room, and I'll be back in like a few minutes. I just have to prepare everything for Frodo's nap. Frodo's taking a nap. And I go, okay. So still playing with the baby. Guys, it's pretty early, okay? It has to be around 11:30, 11:45. I'm not sure which one. So Frodo is in there playing and stuff, and so when I wait for Hawks to come back, and I kind of purposely do like the same thing I did with Toshinori. I make moaning noises and sounds like you're being ravaged and stuff. I kind of make those same noises, and I mean on Toshinori it was like I did that, and there was nothing he could do, and he just like kind of sat there and just like and he didn't try to make any moves or anything like that. Hawks is completely different. Um, so he's like, I'm getting the baby's bottle ready, and then um, and I go, okay, yeah, I get the bottle. So I'm feeding the baby the bottle, and I'm still teasing him and making those noises like, is it yummy? It's not milk, is it? No, it's not. It's your yummy food. Is it delicious, Frodo? I'm like, but I'm talking like in low, like, is it delicious, Frodo? And I go, like that. Like, just, kind of, just being the tease on purpose. Because I'm like, the baby's here, nothing's going to happen. So he's like, well, Frodo is done eating. And I'm like, are you going to give him, like, something to make him go? And Hawks looks at me and he goes, huh? I go, never mind. And I'm thinking back to when Endeavor took care of him. I actually like that Endeavor did that. That he made him go and then was able to change him. Instead of waiting around and having to wait, he just went right away. So I wanted to make that as a suggestion, but I really liked the way things were going. I could tell he was getting really uncomfortable too, by the way he was standing, and I tried not to stare at him too much because I didn't want him to make it obvious. So Alex was like, "Give me Frodo." So he burped them and stuff, and then he put Frodo in his little plaything, and there's this toy in there. Well, the toy has like so it has a little light, and the light you're supposed to follow the light and put your hand there. It's so cute. It's like the cutest little baby toy. And every time you do it, like there's a wheel and it spins. And the spinning has like little bells. It has little bell noise. And I go, oh, I go, Frodo, can I play? And I've been down there to try to play, and he starts like throwing a fit. And he goes, yeah, he doesn't want you to play with that with him. This entertains him for hours. He can literally play this for hours. I'm like, oh. And he goes, come on. And he takes my hand, and I kind of like snatch my hand out of his, and he goes, what? I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, I could tell what you were doing. You were asking for my invitation. You're asking for my attention. So I'm just taking that as like an invitation. So come on. I'm like, he goes, I look back at Frodo. I'm like, we need to watch Frodo. And he goes, Frodo will be fine. Frodo's going to play with that thing for hours. He doesn't like when anybody plays with him. When he gets tired, he'll cry. I'll take him upstairs. He'll nap. We have a few hours. So you can't, he goes, we have a few hours. So you can't say we don't have any time. So I'm like, okay, yeah. So I go with him. So we're in the bedroom. We didn't leave the baby downstairs by himself. We were like in a separate room. And I've never been in this room before. It's like a guest room. It's all white. It reminds you of one of those really, really nice one bedroom cottages. The bed is like tiny. And so like I walk in, I'm sitting down on the bed, and I'm thinking like, damn, what did I freaking do? And luckily I have a backup because I put something in. I put something in Frodo's little toy, his little baby person thing. Because he had one at his house too. I put like this little scary. He hates. He hates this little. Fredo hates this little toy. It has like It has an automatic robotic like a trigger. So when you squeeze it, like the head gets really big and the eyes kind of pop out. It's kind of freaky. So if I press that, he will start crying. So if anything, I can rescue myself if I need to. Also, Hawks is not like Toshinori at all. So Hawks is quick. Hawks is how do I describe Hawks to you? I'm gonna get really graphic here, okay? It's really nasty. Um, so Hawks, okay, so Hawks stays hard the whole time until he's ready to come. He'll literally stop himself from coming until he feels like you've had all your orgasms. Then he just pours into you. I mean, he spills into you like a freaking ocean. It is a mess. It's everywhere. Okay. So he doesn't give you much time to warm up. He does, but he doesn't. He waits till you're ready, and then he just is like ready, set, go. Toshinori is like slow and sensual, and you're basically throbbing with pleasure before he even like gets to like second base. So you're already ready for him. Then you have an amazing home, and it's freaking amazing. And then, but you guys like come together, and then he's ready for round two. So then you guys go again, and then you can go again, and then again. Okay, this guy is kind of more. I don't want to say he's more dominant than Toshinori, but that's kind of a really dominant trait. Waiting until being able to stay like that and just not. There's a difference between getting hard over and over again, like Toshinori. Because that man, it's amazing. It's a workout too, though. It wears you out. Okay, Ox is just man. So I knew whatever I do, I'm gonna have to do this quick because it's gonna escalate. But I didn't want to make him feel like I was avoiding it. So he sat on the bed with me, and then he's like, um, "Are you ready?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he kind of did that. He tried to like kiss my mouth, and I kind of turned into him a little bit and kissed him back. And then so he started like running his hands through my hair, and then his hands went lower, and he started like trying to undo my dress. And then I was like, okay, well, since he's doing that, I guess I'll remove his shirt or whatever. So I started trying to take off his shirt, and then I reached behind me and I pressed the button, and that little toy thing, I could hear it going, beep, boop, beep, boop. And then so then brother like screamed. He was like so scared, like oh my god, I'm such a demented mom. That was so scary of me to do that. That was so bad. But I mean, like, I had to stop him. So he's like, dang it. Hawks is like, what the heck is wrong? He gets up, he like runs in there. He like he like so then I get up and I'm like, okay, I quickly button on my dress, I run back in there. I'm like, what's the matter with him? Is he okay? He goes, yeah, he's fine. I don't understand what happened. I'm like, I don't either. He goes, I'm gonna pick him up and just, kind of soothe. Go back to the room and wait. And I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna stay here too with you and Gretel. And I'm like, let me just straighten up his area. So I put the little thing, I picked the little toy up and I put it back in my pocket. Ha, sly as ever. So then I'm like, okay, well I should go. We can resume this next time. And he's like, why do I feel like he goes, we didn't see Toshinori either. It's Toshinori. Does Toshinori tell you? I'm like, shit. I freaking forgot about that. Like, I'm like, tell me what. And he's like, so from now on, you have to give yourself to me before you can give yourself to him. He won't accept you. And I go, yeah, mm-hmm. He sort of told me that already. And he goes, did he tell you he was serious about it? And I'm like, look, I'm like, Hawks next time for sure. But right now we can't. Like, you need to see if Frodo is okay. He goes, yeah, I'm just gonna. I think he's sleepy. Maybe I'm like, yeah, he's sleepy. Go, put him to bed. I'll come back next time for sure. He goes, you sure? I'm like, yeah, I'll be back. Mhm. Bye. I leave out and I'm like, so I call my guide to bring me back here. And I'm just like, I honestly like the nerve of these guys. Like, who do they think they are? Hawks is like ripped, okay? His arms, everything ripped. Toshinori is ripped. He's way bigger than him, like body wise, in size and everything. But I feel like I'm starting to become attracted to Hawks. I don't want to, but when I kissed him back, I think it like stirred something in me. I basically like ran away. That's what I basically like ran away from Hawks. But I mean, I don't know what else to do in this situation. I have to. I feel like I need to get. Toshinori is definitely gonna get himself raped. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna hold out for and wait for you. Like you wouldn't wait for me. You would definitely do the same thing, Toshinori. You have to know that. Like I don't know. How can you make this rule? Whatever. I don't have to follow this stupid rule anyway. I have Frodo and the little toy that makes him cry. That is so terrible. I love my baby so much. She's so cute. I wanted to tell you guys what happened when I went back there, but also, um, I think when I go back, when I go back, I'm definitely going to make note of the fact that that hospital just has all the kids' quirks written on the wall. Like there's a whole wall with papers on it full of all of the kids with their female, male, what their quirk is, how old they are, everything. I don't really like that system. Otherwise, Frodo is going to have a doctor come to the house from now on because I don't want anyone snatching my kid. Also, I don't think any of the doctors or anyone's allowed to really be in the room with Frodo without knowing what his quirk is. You can't die from it. So, I don't know. That's just how I feel about that. I know my son is everything. Like, I can't believe these guys and their little stupid deal they made. I think Toshinori is going to be sorry. Like, oh, he's still going to get me back for what I did. I know that. I know I haven't escaped from that. I'm just not an idiot. I'm too smart to know that, like, he has something planned for me, something big. I don't know what it is yet. I hope it's something. I hope it's something I can handle. I don't know. But yeah, I'm just gonna avoid Hawks, like, from now on. I'm just only gonna, like, if Toshinori wants to have the baby every time I come to his house, hey, I mean, guess I'll just be keeping Frodo the whole time. And nobody will get to touch me. Because, it's not really fair. I don't feel like it's fair. When am I going to shift back to Toshinori's house? I don't really know. Like, I'm not angry at them. I just think it's weird what they're trying to do. Like, can't really share somebody what they're trying to. Like, I don't want my feelings for Toshinori to, like, falter or get, like, ruined because of what's going on with Hawks and the way he is. Like, Hawks is also really rough and bad, too. Toshinori is pretty rough, too, but I mean, I can handle him. Hawks is just too big. Just huge. So I mean, if I could rewind everything, I would definitely make Toshinori the father of the baby, or make it so that I wasn't actually blindfolded when I tried to, convince me to do something new. I don't know. Anyway, I am much happier with the way things are now. I mean, Frodo's here. That's what matters. So I'm happy now. So my baby's better. That was all that really mattered anyway. I mean, I don't know what else to do about Frodo. We need to celebrate his month he's alive. Like we need to celebrate every month, like I was saying before. Like we need to do that. I need to find out what Endeavor's babysitting schedule is for Frodo. That way I don't have to drop in on him and no and he's not there. Just have to use Frodo now as like a safe haven, like a safety net or whatever. I don't know. Or the school. I just don't know how to shift to the school directly. I might end up someplace weird or something. I don't know. Anyway, I'm so glad that you guys watched my video. Um, Thanks for watching. Don't forget to give my video a like. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Ding! That way you know when another video comes out like this, because I haven't been able to make them as often as I was before. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Not really sure when that's going to be. I have to be really careful when I go. I have to be careful. I think I want to talk to Principal Nezu next time. It's time for me to start going back to school. Thanks for watching. Bye. Bye, everybody.